So for our next topic, we're going to talk about Survivor Series a little bit. I put out a video on social media the other day when a lot of people said that this Survivor Series was the worst premium live event for the entire year. Imagine my surprise. The only thing that I'm really surprised about is that people think that's the worst one. Besides SummerSlam and Crown Jewel, they've all been a disappointment. So for me, Survivor Series was no different. I'm going to pitch an idea of my own, and this is going to be for Survivor Series. Now, I know they have a lot of events where the stipulations is always getting a title shot at one of the bigger events during the year. Royal Rumble, and more recently, King of the Ring. They all result at a title shot at a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam. But I think Survivor Series needs that type of implication as well. To me, it almost makes perfect sense to have that as a stipulation for Survivor Series. With so many people involved in the match, I think that could lead to great storytelling because you have so many dynamics and variables going on at one time. But with the main result being somebody getting a shot at the title, that could change how Survivor Series is even booked altogether. So, for example, first idea, whoever wins Wargames should be the people that's included in the Elimination Chamber. I think winning Wargames should earn you a spot in the Elimination Chamber. And I think that it makes Wargames even more important. Now you just don't have a group of unnecessary people teaming up for some dumb reason. And then at the end of the match, they pretty much haven't won anything. That includes having a good match. Because other than the first War Games with the Bloodline, I just haven't been impressed. Survivor Series has always been questionable. That's why I gave Triple H credit for introducing War Games for Survivor Series. But based off the past two matches for that event, it's just not it. And I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. Mainly because the WWE are not putting together the type of stars we need to even care at all. Now, we already know that the Elimination Chamber is for 6 competitors, and War Games is only 5 people to a team. So that means it's still one available spot for the chamber. And for that, I think whoever is the runner-up for the Royal Rumble should be the last person in the Elimination Chamber. So I know that was probably a lot to throw at you at one time. So let me try to break it down and put it together real quick. I think War Games needs a makeover and it needs a new stipulation. That being, whoever wins War Games will be the people that's in the Elimination Chamber. There's only 5 people in War Games, 6 people in the Elimination Chamber. So to get that last spot in the chamber, whoever is the runner-up in the Royal Rumble gets that spot. The Royal Rumble usually comes down to the last 2 competitors. And whichever one of those athletes doesn't win the Royal Rumble will join the winner of War Games in the Elimination Chamber. Call me crazy, but I think that's something that just might make War Games a little bit more meaningful. WWE is supposed to be war either way it goes. Monday nights used to be entitled Raw is War. So this is a part of the nature of the sport anyway. Why even have a real War Games if there's no real prize at the end? And let's just be honest. When events like this happen, where it's a stipulation and a potential title shot or what have you, that makes the fans more invested because you want to see who's going to get these opportunities. And then it's just a few different angles that you could go with this idea, because a lot of the times people that's on the same War Game teams are usually friends, partners, etc. So even having that dynamic going into Elimination Chamber, it's just fresh stories that you could tell all around the board. And now you would have a new way to even introduce these stories. So I'm going to say it again real quick. The winner of War Games should be the people that go on to the Elimination Chamber. And for that last spot in the chamber, that spot should go to whoever's the runner-up at the Royal Rumble. When it comes down to the last 2 people in the Rumble, whoever doesn't win that event, they automatically get that last spot in the chamber. For all of us that's been watching the WWE over the past decade, that's pretty much what happens anyway. Whoever's the last 2 people in the Royal Rumble are usually the 2 people that get the title shots at WrestleMania. So at least we're switching it up just a little bit. Throw their in the chamber with the people that won War Games and let the war continue, leading into WrestleMania. Let me address if it's a champion in War Games. If it's a champion on the team that wins War Games, that champion should be able to pick a competitor of their choice to be in the Elimination Chamber. So that's my first idea for War Games. I got one more backup plan just in case. Now for this next idea, you could also have champion versus champion in War Games. You could have the WWE champion lead a team in War Games against a team that's led by the World Heavyweight Champion. Now, with this particular idea, you could have the champions pick their teams. Just like back in the days at the park, picking your team to run a game on the court. It's almost that same logic. The stipulation here is whatever team wins War Games gets a shot at the opposing champion, which means that if the WWE champion and his team wins, then those 4 guys that he picked to be on his team will get a shot at the World Heavyweight Champion. The only thing with this is that championship match will be a fatal 4-way. The 4 guys from the winning team plus the World Heavyweight Champion equals 5. And you can't have a fatal 4-way with 5 people. So I'm also pitching the idea of the winning team picking the weakest link. On that Monday Night Raw after Survivor Series, instead of just having another meaningless and weak promo, you could have a segment with the team that won War Games choosing the weakest link from that match. And when they choose the weakest link, this person won't be involved in that championship fatal 4-way match. So just like the first one, I know there's a lot to throw at y'all all at one time, because unlike WWE, we're coming up with fresh and brand new ideas on Worldwide Classic. So let me pitch this second idea one more time. For War Games, both teams should be led by one of the champions. World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Champion. Those champions should handpick their teams. Both champions pick 4 guys for their team at War Games. Whichever team wins War Games, the 4 guys chosen by that champion will get a title shot against the opposing champion. And that match will be a fatal 4-way. The Monday Night Raw after Survivor Series, they should have a segment where they all choose who is the weakest link on that team. Once that team has voted and decided who was the weakest link, that person will not qualify for the championship fatal 4-way match. So again, I know there's a lot to throw at y'all all at one time. So take some time and watch this a few times. And if it's a good idea, let me know why. And if it's a bad idea, let me know why. I'm Southside Tre. And if it's a good idea, let me know why. And if it's a bad idea, let me know why. This is Worldwide Classic. I'm Southside Tre. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Full-Time Digital House, and follow me on all social media, Southside_Tre. Appreciate y'all.